Hi, my name is Michael Schackmann. This is my wife, Melanie, and we have three kids. We have two daughters that are 11 and almost 10. They are Penny and Veronica, and then we have an almost 8-year-old son named Jude. We are involved I play drums, and then she plays violin, so our primary ministry that we love is the worship ministry.
The music team has just welcomed us with open arms, and we really feel part of a team, and just the ability to serve with each other and with the music team has been such a blessing, and that really fills a hole in my heart.
You know, our church life hasn't always been what it is today. You know, we had a dark past in our marriage with certain financial struggles, and you know, I struggled with addictions a long time ago. And when we first started going to our old church, it was really important to us to get involved because we'd never been involved at a church. We just kind of attended church, and we got involved. And then after a few years, God kind of said, "Hey, I think I've got something better in store." So we started feeling this calling, pushing, prompting, whatever, and started looking at other churches. We got to the age where our kids are now, where we wanted them to have more opportunity for learning about Jesus and having people pour into them. So when we bounced around a couple churches and we came to check out this church, I remember we saw Home Alone. Wasn't it the popcorn movie event for Home Alone? And even though it took us maybe 6 months to finally let go of where we were and take the plunge somewhere else, we had a family vote, and it was unanimous that Centerpoint affected everyone in such a strong way that this was where we wanted to start going. So it was a big deal for us.
Adolescence is hard, and I wanted for our children a safe place to be able to grow in their faith and to be able to ask questions. And I really trust the volunteers and the staff who give their time to invest in the children.
We then got to go to the groundbreaking. And the groundbreaking was the day that I was like, wow, we're in the right place at the right time. You know, like, cool to throw the seeds and to see all this excitement, and the church is growing and we get to be a part of that. And that was a big deal for us. We got invited to a church activity to kind of have a deeper understanding of Unfinished, since we'd never really been exposed to it other than after it had been launched. And I told her I was struggling in my sales position, bad, winter's bad, and I was getting mad and getting upset and getting down on myself, and I'm not easy to deal with when that happens. And so we got invited to this event. I was kicking and screaming, didn't want to go. I told her, I said, it's probably about raising money. It's probably about this Unfinished. And she says, well, do you want to pray before we go in? And I said, no, I don't. I'm a little mad right now. I'm not happy with the way things are going. So we went in, and we got to see elders, and we got to see pastors, and we got to meet people. And of course, I went begrudgingly, and we were there 2.5 hours, and ate, and we heard the whole journey of this church from beginning to where it is now, where it wants to go. Unfinished was explained in depth. We saw floor plans, we saw all this stuff. And in the middle of all that, this conviction fell over me, and she could tell because I was suddenly like smiling and happy and mingling finally. And we're convicted. Like, all right, so this church has brought me to a realization that it's not about my success. It's not about whether or not people want money. It's about the mission, and it's about growing, and it's about reaching the community of unbelievers. And that really just hit me when I realized it wasn't about whether I was selling and whether I had money to provide. It was about, what am I doing in the kingdom of God? And what can I do with the blessings that God gives us, and tithing and all that stuff, and not to let it worry me, and to just trust God. And then when I had that little switch and she saw it, that's when like Unfinished hit us, giving hit us, discipleship, and then what this church is doing hit us. And I let go. And when I let go, good things happen when I'm not in charge. So yeah. You know, our struggles in the past, especially me, with even tithing in the first place, and seeing what that has done in our lives, and the changes that occur from that, and the blessings that come when you trust, It's like, well, how can we be excited about something, want to be a part of something, and not give to that? When we have kids who are affected by it, when they have friends that we know can be affected by it, I mean, we're at the point now, it's tax season, so we're looking at how much we made last year, what can we do this year? And we're at the point now where it's time to say, all right, this is what we can do. What can we do to stretch to be a part of something that is stretching everybody?
I would tell you to not test the Lord, but to trust the Lord that He will provide. It's sometimes a scary thing to commit to a certain number, but in our experience, even when we were in financial difficulties, God would always provide for us. You know, sometimes I take it for granted. I grew up going to Sunday school, and I take it for granted that there are some people who don't know about Jesus. And so with the Unfinished, being able to reach this community and just having the resources to build a facility that will have room for more people to come and have children's facilities for families with young children to grow up in, and then hopefully continue the cycle.
You know, simple things I'm excited about, not having to ride a bus after, like, you know, maybe a year. And just this whole aspect of watching something grow up out of the ground, from a hole in the ground to a place where more people can discover God. And just to be a part of that is very exciting.
Sometimes I think, you know, does God really need me? And I think God is going to accomplish His will no matter what. And I think that, you know, He doesn't need me, but I think He wants me to be a part of what He's doing. And I think when I see God working, if I don't contribute to that or want to be a part of, or if I, you know, think, am I going to be a part of that? I think I would feel sad not being a part of that, because I want to be able to say, you know what, you know, in years to come, I was a part of that.
Yeah, we don't want to be on the outside looking in. We want to be a part of that excitement that we see and to share in that. Definitely.